Hi there, welcome to my channel. I use data to explore the world and to know more about people. Data can talk and the devil is in the details if we look closely and with curiosity. What story the data will tell us today? Let's find out. Today's story starts from this chart, Japan rice production volume from 1960 till now. Besides the overall production trend going downwards, another obvious point is the dip in 1993 with a very low production. If we look at the area change of rice paddies, the area of rice paddies has declined throughout the years. But there's not much change in 1993, so what happened then? Rice production is greatly affected by natural conditions such as climate. So there are years when production is high and years when it's low, and there's a large difference between the years. In 1993, the weather condition of the rice production was extremely poor due to a record cold summer and a lack of sunshine. As a result, the rice production dropped to 7.8 million tons, only 74% of the previous volume. In addition, the inventory for that year was very low, which led to a serious rice shortage and later caused a so-called the rice riot of heisei. It turns out, in Japanese history, there were a couple of times when there were rice shortages due to bad harvests, or when prices too high for people to afford, causing disturbances. Among them, the rice riots that erupted in 1890 and 1918 are particularly famous. The rice riot of 1890 was caused by the poor harvest in the previous year and the high rice price. People in Toyama City started a campaign to ask for help from the city hall and wealthy people. Disturbances occurred in 19 prefectures, including Fukushima, Yamaguchi. In Niigata Prefecture, more than 2,000 people, mainly miners, rebelled and the military was dispatched to suppress the riots. In 1918, the First World War, the Japanese government sent its troops to Siberia and bought a tremendous volume of rice for the military. It caused a rice shortage and triggered speculation, causing landlords and rice merchants to hoard their rice and pushed prices to skyrocket. The price of rice doubled within a short period of time, and prices for other consumer goods were also high while wages remained low. This squeezed the people's livelihoods, and the rice riots broke out in Toyama in July. Toyama Prefecture is a major rice-growing region in the coastal towns and villages. Traditionally, men worked as fishermen and women worked as stevedores, loading and unloading freight from trade ships. In response to the rising rice prices, these women organized boycotts of ships exporting grain. This led to other forms of protest, nearly all organized by women. As these protests began to gain attention, it spread quickly among communities along the Toyama Bay. When newspapers gave national exposure to the Toyama riots the following months, similar riots rapidly spread all over the country. Since rice was an indispensable staple food, this price hike was a problem that directly affected people's lives. In order to settle the situation, the government sold rice at bargain prices and dispatched the police and the military to put the riot down, but the riot continued for about 2 months. Den Kenjiro, Minister of Communications in the Terauchi cabinet, wrote in his diary that a rice riot has broken out in Kobe on 12th of August, and that the Suzuki Corporation and the Kobe Shimbun Company headquarters was set fire. The cabinet as a whole was greatly shocked by the rice riots, and the Prime Minister Terauchi, who had been hinting at quitting ever since the spring of 1918 because of health issue, resigned on 21st of September after the riots. The rice riot of 1918 is said to be the largest social movement in Japanese history. The rice riots of 1993 had no violent disturbances involved. However, because of the common use phrase, rice riots of taisho, this event is called the rice riots of heisei. When Japanese experienced a shortage of rice due to a record-setting cold summer in 1993, which also led to the lift of 4 decades-long of ban on rice imports. The record cold summer seems to have been caused by the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991 and the El Nino. Summer temperatures were 2 to 3 degrees Celsius lower than average. The eruption of Pinatubo volcano is said to be the largest in the 20th century. The volcanic plume reached the stratosphere at an altitude of 17 to 26 kilometers. El Nino tends to bring cool summers and warm winters to Japan, while La Niña tends to bring hot summers and cold winters to Japan. Rice is a crop that is sensitive to cold weather, so the low temperature in the summer is bad for the harvest. In order to secure a stable supply of rice and prevent price hikes, the Japanese government urgently imported about 2.6 million tons of rice from overseas. Non-glutinous rice was first imported from Thailand in November 1993, followed by rice from other countries the following year. Imports would solve the shortages, but since most of the imported rice was indica rice, the texture and flavor are different from Japanese short grain rice. So in the end, almost 1 million tons of imported rice remained unsold. Japan's government has resisted rice imports for many decades to protect its small local rice farmers. 1993 rice shortage acted as a catalyst, made Japan finally agree to lift the ban on rice import to fulfill its obligation under the GATT. The GATT is General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. It's a predecessor of WTO. Looking at Japan now, it's hard to imagine Japan experienced rice shortages in 1990s. Not mention the rice shortage also led to some of the largest riots in Japan's recorded history. A simple chart brought us back to the old days in Japan, but the story is not just about Japan. It's more relevant this year when the wheat supply is interrupted by the war between Russia and Ukraine. Hope the war would end soon. There's no winner in the war.
So that rice that's not grown is therefore not milled, it's not dried, it's not shipped, it's not packed. Even prior to that, it's not planted, so the company that they plant the rice by air, the company that does that isn't hiring anybody to do that job. So on both sides of the farm, that is the farm input side and the processing and marketing and transportation, etc., all of that is lost to the economy as well.